Okay, so here we go. Just need to post on the Discord here as well. So today we are talking a bit of Prussia, but we're going to continue a bit. But we're also going to have a look at the tech tree and talk about how we maybe want to change this. So I've played a bit. But for now... So... I think we're ready to go. Let's see, does everything work? I think everything works. Okay. So we left off last episode with having gone Lutheran. So we are currently 50% converted by now. So that's good. So 50%, we're going to continue building up our army here. There we go. I think it's all that we have started on construction. We have a law not codified. It's the Rights of Burghers law. I think we are going to take the guilds, especially because it's, if at all, I think it should reduce production efficiency and give you a hefty bonus to satisfaction instead, and not power. So this would be in fact something like improving what you get out of them, but for the cost of production. Strength of the right would give you more power, but more trade efficiency, something like this. But this feels very odd because I do think trade production efficiency is really powerful. So let's implement that. And now we're going to continue here. There is a parliament actually. About, which I almost forgot about. We are going to do promote state religion. Yeah, there was something. Maybe we get an event for this. And also we can change our focus here soon again. When these reach 75% roughly. And now, in this episode, we are going to continue building up some stuff. So, for example, we are going to... Ooh, minus 5%, that's bad. Ooh. We don't want to take either of those. I would like to pass this one, actually. Because I want to get the missionary zeal. If we don't get this, that would be annoying, so let's hope we get some kind of event, because I don't want to do decentralization, but at worst case we go decentralization. That would be unfortunate here. Yeah, looks like we don't get an event, and we don't have enough to actually... Yeah, we're not going to get the religious zeal. Wow. That's of course sad. Now, what I want to talk about today is not only that we want to play a bit here, but we also want to talk about technologies and tech trees and how we maybe want to modify them. But let's play a bit first, and then in like half an hour or something, let's make a break and talk about a bit of technology and modding. And then afterwards, we maybe continue. I'm not sure. I'm not going to play that long today. Yeah, we failed. I know we have negative stability pretty hard, actually. That's also not good. Question is, what do we do with our cash? Because we're currently investing heavily here. We can cut down the port maintenance though. Cost of court is fine. That's going to go down soon. When it has maxed out. Bohemia has insulted us. Great. We got centralized state. Ooh, nice tax efficiency. It's not like we don't have enough tax efficiency. 47% tax efficiency. That's insane. So, but we are still recovering from a lot of things here. Actually, why do we have diplomatic spending? That should be 0. We do have possible religious influences. So we could dissolve the monasteries, get a lot of cash out of it. But I think I'm going to wait this out, and instead I want to do a religious aspect because I have no clue what it will do. And meanwhile we are going to use our money to build up some RGOs. So for example, not fully expanded, and let's just go after profits here. Up to like 0.5 or something. We don't have the money. And also what I noticed in between, what I'm going to show you in a second, is that there is a bit of weird behavior with the roads. So we need to proximity cost here. So I have set it on proximity, and if I build the road to here, which we did in the past, then this is supposed to be the path at shortest path. But if we check proximity map mode, it's going a different path, despite what we have built. So something is not working here. And I have no clue what, but it's definitely not working as it should. So same here, same here, same here. Yeah, it's not doing what I want to. So I don't know how that is supposed to work, but it doesn't do what it should do. So it's weird. Okay, we are going to build up a bit here. Oh, we do. Ah, yeah, the Catholic Zealots should, however, disappear relatively soon. Because we are converting hard here. 53% already. Every month is a few percentages currently. Nice, another technology done. Ooh. 2,000. No, that's not worth it. Oh, that was expensive. What can we do with our army though? Can we put someone from our crown there? We could put our king on our army here. There we go. We want to train it. What would training do? Experience would reduce damage taken. But it would be costing us plus 50% maintenance. I don't think we want to pay this because we're already paying 83. Which is a large amount of money for our army here. We are really an army with a state. And first of all, we need to stabilize again before we can afford these kind of expensive things here. Good government policies. Can get legitimacy, we can get cash. We can get stability. Let's take stability because that pulls up all our estates. Therefore getting us back into taxation territory here. At least in proper ones. Burghers are of course our biggest... what? Converts to Catholicism, we get humanists. Yeah, we take this. Take this one. Okay. So now we want to... let's go to that problem again, where the roadmap mode is lying to us. So it's not going... so the road is built here. We did that. But it's not using this one. So instead it goes from... goes here, 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 and then to the east. So let's build this. We go here, here, here. We have this. And then we go from here to here, here to... okay, no, we don't have... no. Not that one. So here... can we do this? No, we can't. Come on. That's not what I wanted to do. I mean... okay, then we switch to Greifenhagen and build from here. It also doesn't want to do this. What is going on here? You're so... Why is the... What is this? So why would you... You take You go like this path, but I can't build a road in this path? Doesn't want to let me? And then from here to... Why would it take this one and not this? So we just built both, I guess. Super weird, and now we wait it out, and maybe this will change our proximity now. Welcome to the stream. Oh, Bohemia is now a military hegemon, which is a bit scary, but I don't think I'm too worried about it. So now we have these roads under construction here. Let's see what it will do. We are 21% currently. Maybe it will help us a bit, maybe not. Let's see. $21. Remember this, 21. Oh, I didn't have a paved road here. Maybe that's the problem why the... And a gravel... No, gravel road. I thought it didn't have a gravel road, but okay. We probably should make gravel roads here as well. So, like, getting gravel roads to... What's going on? I want to build a gravel road here. To those provinces which don't have one yet. Like this. Okay, what has happened here now? Makes gravel roads here. We have the CP on England. I'm not going to push that through though, because I don't want to. If we get an alliance with Trier, we don't take it. Yeah, I'm a bit lost on the road building here. Generous merchant family. We take the cash. So what are you building here? Another gravel road? We're up to 32% now. Purchase military access. Yes, you can. Okay, let's continue on this topic here. So this one. So if we go here, Danzig, where do you get minus 15? How does that work? Minus 15? Minus 17? Okay. Or is that a change from the recent patch that came out today? Maybe that's something, because so now you see where it comes from. Not sure. So Stolp, you get it from where? We don't know. But you get it from like this path here. So let's go actually from Zartik here. And build some paved roads here. To, for example, Stolp. But also to Lauenburg and Danzig. And then also here. There we go. That should help already. Maybe it will fix some of the proximity problems we have here. I'm really curious to see. Unsanctioned missionaries. I don't want to... Yeah, arrest the missionaries. Stability for free and happiness. I'm totally taking it. I mean, the proximity problem here is our main problem. And of course also which is going to be our next investment here, it's going to be the maritime presence here. So we're already up to 28, increasing with the navy, but we can build infrastructure to increase it, so maybe we can actually get our proximity as well through our naval provinces. But let's see. Russian patriots. Brandenburgish. Let them go. Russian Patriot Rebellion. Do we still have one? Yeah, we have one. And we are going to enforce our culture. No, actually, let's make them happy, because then the rebellion probably disappears faster. Bohemia forced us? What? To use French in our court? How did they do this? There's nothing to see on MEIOU yet. It's just for my own personal talking about modding. What is that? So did they really just enforce? I mean, I have no... Is that a great country thing? A great power thing? Because I really don't want to have French. So, what was that again? Court language, right? Liturgical, common language, language family, dominant dialects, language power, dominant languages. Where is that? Where is court language? Because they're... Ah, here. The court language... Yeah, they enforced French on us, even though they... Oh no, they also follow French. Wow. But this gives us a debuff on something. I'm not sure what, though. It was liturgical... Can't pronounce this. Yeah, we do have... 26%. Change court language. Okay, yeah, we're going to wait it out and then we'll go back to German. We don't want to be French here. So, to your question, there is no MEIOU EU5 yet. It's just playing for now and collecting ideas. So we're going to check. I prepared a bit, and then I want to talk about technologies a bit. So I'm not sure what I want to do yet, and what we want to do in the mod, of course. So that's we are a larger team now. I'm no longer more or less alone. So we're going to talk about a lot of stuff, but I also want to think about it, and maybe I want to share it here. So we're going to talk about it in a second. What I have as a complaint about the technologies. How I want to handle it in the future, I have no idea. What do we do here, though? Common language. Court language. I think we want to buff up the court language here itself. So that we get more influence and that we also get... I think the tendencies currently are that we first of all tweak existing mechanics. Which means... give me a second. Prestige. Yeah, prestige. Which means fixing stuff that already exists, or rather improving on it. Fixing is maybe a bit of a harsh word, because many things already work nicely. Why is our population shrinking? Why was it shrinking? So it's more about the question of how can we improve mechanics that already exist. For example, one of my main problems with the economy here, where we are not going to talk about in detail, is that control reduces the tax base, and from the tax base the income is derived. But it also means that the estates only get a share from the taxable tax base. It's a bit hard to explain, but... So, we have 121 potential tax base here in Danzig, and we are getting minus 84%. So, only 18 are left from this tax, and this is then shared between state and estates. So what I would expect here, or what I would like to see rather, is that, of course, only the state share of the taxation is influenced by control. And that therefore, if your control is terrible, more of your money goes into the estates. That's basically what I would expect, and which it doesn't do. So, like, if we are poor, so if the state is poor because it has terrible control, then the estates are also poor because the state has poor control. And this doesn't work out in my eyes. So in MEIOU and Taxes, for example, we had this kind of autonomy mechanic that if you have a high autonomy, then more or less, and high corruption, then all of your money went into the estate's pockets, which would enrich them and make them stronger. So, I mean, the mechanics here are similar, except that it's not local. So, for example, the money is not shared locally. Instead, it's all collected into the state estate. So, we can see here that the estate, for example, here, the Prussian peasants, they do have a wealth. So, this is all the tax income is collected here in this wealth pool from all provinces. Which is okay for the moment, first of all. So let's not change this for the moment, because that would be a massive rework if we want to go into local wealth again, like we had in EU4. But for example, now all the wealth that the state cannot extract should at least go into the estate's pockets here, in my eyes at least. So, for example, if we have now here in the east, because we just annexed the monastic order here, so the Teutonic order, they have very strong clergy. So there should be a lot of strong clergy, because they have a lot of buildings and so on in here in the east. But because we don't have, or basically we don't have any control, it doesn't matter. So the control basically shuts down the whole region, except for RGO production. So raw materials production, that still happens more or less, and good production to a certain degree, but income doesn't happen. So that's like meh in my eyes, a big meh. And I think that's one of the things we definitely are going to touch. I'm not sure how we are going to touch it, because I can't speak for the team here. But at least if I would do something, then I would definitely look into can we remove the effect of control on taxation, on effective tax base? And what would it do? I mean, it would totally destroy any balance in the game, if there is one. So that's definitely what would happen. And then you would at least, of course, need to tweak a lot of modifiers to make that work. And yeah, that's still a right away. Now let's see, did that have an effect? Yes, we do. Look at that. We have an effect from the roads. Yeah, let's talk about it in a second. Let's just build a bit more roads first. About the estates and interesting things from that. So we do have Danzig here. And I don't think we reached Danzig as of yet. No. But let's look at Stolp. This is a local proximity source because we made a bailiff there. So this one is connected, right? No, it's not. So let's build some more roads here. Let's go and switch to Salzig again. And build from there to Stolp as well. We did have that. To Danzig. We have that. Then to Schwerz. Here we go. And to Marienburg. Oh, we already have one. Okay, good. So let's wait for these roads to finish. And now we are going into the naval infrastructure, which is burger-based. I think it's burger-based, right? These are bridges. But that's over here. We don't want to build there yet. No, it's burger-based, so... Or is it soldier-based? Oh, dry docks, yes. So dry docks are... dry docks are the upgrade to a dock. So we are going to... And we have coastal ports, actually. Give a... Oh, they... Wait a second. Harbor capacity? Monthly sailors? Oh. Wait, no. Coastal port. Here we go. Local maritime presence 0.15. And the dry dock gives us harbor capacity. And harbor capacity is what again? Harbor capacity is this one here. And harbor capacity gives you less presence. So we want to build the coastal port here. So let's do this. And how expensive are they? Oh, they're cheap. Okay. Let's see how much impact that will have on our balance. I have no clue how expensive they really are. So let's build them. And now we can talk about your question. So the bailiffs, we are relatively urbanized over here. So there isn't that much that we can do with bailiffs. We could build one more over here, actually. So let's see. We have one. We have someone over here. We have. Yeah, let's make one more or two more. There's also soldier pop, bailiffs. Let's make one here. We have one here, that's fine. Maybe we also want one here. Like this. For the moment, that should be fine. I have built temples everywhere. So that's... I have libraries, temples, everything that buffs us in any way. So this is just fixing up some gaps that we currently have. Now, towards your earlier question, in regards to privileges and reforms, the way MEIOU and Taxes implemented reforms, so that is not from me, actually, so that's from my predecessors who are partially back for year 5. So that's, I mean, the burger privilege I worked and helped on. So the idea behind that was that it more represents the state or your empire fighting back on you. He's doing a great job, definitely. So combine that with the corruption and everything, you can, the estates enrich yourself, and you can't just simply, for a bit of stability, you can weaken them like tremendously. It's not that simple. And also you had to build up the state reach and the bureaucracy to actually govern your realm properly. So that's the... no, decline. So that's a big difference here. I don't have the feeling here that the estates are actually doing anything against us. Yes, they're building a few buildings that give them more power. Fine. But I don't really care. So we should switch this one. Now we talked so much that we should continue here. And leave the rest like it is for the now. So, what do? We do shipbuilding. We don't want... and maybe we take the census again. I mean, why not? Auxiliary at nope. Allow trade census one ship. Nope. Support of inward. Yes. That definitely. Okay, we are going to have very little chance of pushing this through unless we get lucky with an event. So the main problem is more or less here in this run already. I don't really have to care about my estates anymore. Because they have the privileges I grant them. Or rather that I allow them to have. And that's it. I'm not going for the remaining 300 years of the game. I'm not going to do anything with the estates anymore, probably, because it's also already over. So, well, what should I do? I can only build our economy now and things like that. I mean, I can optimize a bit over time if there are new privileges which maybe get unlocked. But I don't think so. I don't see anything that is new. Maybe with the next age, which is going to hit us in a few years, we can do this. Maybe. But unlikely. Oh, come on. We didn't get a single event. Trade center sponsorship. No, I don't want to grant that. Preservation of ideas. No. Okay, we let it fail. Fine. Full stability. There we go. By the way, I thought that we maybe want to push innovativeness again. Yeah, we can push innovativeness again. For which we need a dip guy. So this one. Yeah, we can push it to 49%. So that's possible now. Because we changed some stuff at the end of the last episode. Which is helping here now. What we should check again is if we can make... no, that was the... Oh, wait a second, we want to still keep these ones. Yeah, we lost those recently. So we're not going to rebuild in Sweden. Oh, wait a second, that's Denmark now. He conquered that. They conquered that. That's what it's not what I wanted to build. I wanted to keep building and upgrading our marketplaces here. So we do have the upgrade available now. But so we should keep upgrading that a bit. Wow, another -7 stability. Wow. I'm not even sure, do we need to revoke anything from the burghers still? I think there was something. One, maybe? Sweden is relatively weak in our game here. So they are only having this region because Muscovy isn't doing it properly. But they already lost stuff to Denmark, of course with our help, but still. Okay, our income. Let's see. We have a massive stability investment. I think I'm going to tweak that down to 0.25 now. Because we are positive again. Like this. And of course our legitimacy is going to max out anyway. Okay. And trade income is going up further. Now we should keep an eye on our rebels here. Because we don't want the Catholics to rebel here. So we could, for example, consider to sending Bernhard here to crack down on them. So Catholic zealots here. Here we go. Let's see if it works. Yeah, they're going down now. And the Prussian patriots here are in the annexed territories that we got from our vassal. Which is fine as well. We would like to culture convert those provinces, but first of all we need to get our religious unity over 80% roughly. I want to get to the next age, and then we can talk about technologies a bit. And I said I prepared something, and so we can use that as well. Okay, what else do we want to do? Did our proximity change? Yes, from the bailiffs here. A bit, at least. Not sure if the coastline actually has changed. Wow, the army upgrade costs 1,900. That's a lot. And let's actually buy the religious influence. Yes, let's do it. There we go. And we go offensive, of course. So our national values by now. We are close to maxing out aristocracy, which we of course want to. We are also getting towards quality and offensive slowly. Actually, we can also push quality soon. When we have 3 cabinet slots again. But those of course are first busy here. Ooh. time for some... There still those, especially in the countryside, who oppose the state church of the electorate of Prussia, and who long to return to the embrace of the Roman Church. There is, however, a big difference between religious doubt and open rebellion. Though so far things have been quiet in Prussia, the state church has thus been content to leave most of these dissidents alone, as long as they continue to attend services and pay their taxes. It seems this peace was not meant to last, however. The recent appropriation of church silver in the area has been regarded as an open declaration of war by the locals, and they are now taking up arms to protect the churches from the greedy hands of Berlin. We lose control. We are going to force them to become Lutheran and make them unhappy. That's fine with me. And let's see where we are. The religion location. Yeah, we can see here that our conversion is progressing really nicely. First provinces are majority now, or like super majority Lutheran, and a lot of stuff is majority. Yeah, actually relatively strongly majority Lutheran here now. Poland has another revolt. They are really going from revolt to revolt. Dead. They are basically dead. So I really want to know what we get from the religious influence here. So it will be done in a few years. And with the money that we got, I think we are going to expand further. We do have a lot of naval, I mean, not naval, but sailors. So we're going to upgrade a few more galleys here, or build a few more. To get more presence here. Oh, we still had a loan. I forgot. So, the maritime presence here. You can see it's really good. And that's of course useful. We want to push it further up for the sake of control and proximity here. So you are getting it from Stolp. And you're at 16 from home, which is good. That's something. Exodus of Gumbinnen. We're going to replace the priests here. Get us even further to humanist again. Shipyard fire. Fine. Don't even want to know what it does. Conviction. Leave the country. She's free to choose. We are not that strongly. Okay. Going to eat a bit in between. So. I mean, Sweden is also the home country of Paradox, so that they buff it is of course to be expected. Okay, here we are. We have a lot of money available again. It's really a big question what we want to do with it. Oh, we checked that already. The temples are all done. Embassy is not worth it right now. What else do we have here? Scriptoriums, we don't need to. We have an upgrade to that. Do we have anything? Oh, we have some libraries that we didn't build apparently. The merchant quarter. We can continue upgrading here. So these should all be maxed out now. As quickly as possible. But that of course is a lot of money. To get our trade capacity even higher than we already are. Nice. Curd costs are down. Or rather, legitimacy costs are now down. Oh, we can't further encourage innovativeness, but we can encourage quality a bit. Yes, until 38%, so we do this. The only downside of quality is that the costs of our army go up. So army maintenance plus 10%. It's not that little. So, yeah. Hurts. Definitely hurts. And I got the impression that our conversions have been slowing down a bit. Oh, Prussian patriots are still... Ah, it's because of the control, right. So maybe what we should do, like you, go down here and increase control, at least a bit. So where else do we have them? Over here as well. What's our percentage by now? 62%. We gain additional privileges to the nobles. Yeah, fine. We give them that. Because that annoys the commoners even further again. But it's fine. I'm not too worried about it. So really need to get control over here. Not sure how we do this best. So we do have the bailiffs here. Could make another one here. I know, I think that was all cities here. Yeah, we had the problem that this was all urbanized here, right? Yes, maybe here? Yeah, this is still a rural settlement. How about you? Yes, you are as well. So let's make a bailiff here. Why can't we? I'm confused. Clerics, laborers, peasants. What? I'm confused. Soldiers, bailiff. We could make it from here, but not from the other way around. What we should maybe make sure is that the bailiffs that we have here do have a road connection to something like this one here. And that... No, not like this. That this bailiff has the road connection here and here. The same over here. That we of course have one to the provinces it should connect. So maybe that helps as well. A bit at least. Quality is a trap. Why? Possible frontage, I mean. That's combat with. Yeah, that's of course interesting. But wouldn't frontage... I mean, that's... More frontage means that you can... that more troops engage at the same time. But if your troops are better, where's the problem with that? So as long as you have better troops and more than the enemy, where's the problem in quality? Just asking this. Like, maybe you have an answer for this? I mean, so... Yeah, the battles would maybe take longer. Something like this. Unmarried picker here? Yes. Wittelsbach. No, we don't want the Wittelsbach again. Whatever we take, but we aren't going, not going Wittelsbach again. Nothing we want. Okay, does it help what we do here? We have Russian patriots still. Playing Italian bank. I don't think that's as much fun as many think. Okay, we also have to crack... Oh, you are terrible. How about you? Yeah, you are good. So... Crack down on the other rebels. The patriots here. And now... what can we do? We could also try to just culture convert this one here. So that we don't have the Prussian problems here. Maybe that helps if we get a few percent of Brandenburgish here. Laws of the Catholic Church can be changed, and every member can propose start law debates. Nice! Whoa! Why did you break off? Why did you do this? Probably because of the changes here. I'm not sure which laws we can now change. Is this one? No. I'm not sure which law we can change now. I'm still in the Catholic Church though, on paper at least. For whatever reason. I don't know. I'm not sure what we were allowed to... Oh, Council of Trent. Ah, okay. That's what got called. Law debate succeeded. Marriage of priests. What other requirements though? We are a member of the Catholic Church. Okay, yeah, we can only watch what they do. We can only watch what they will do now. Calvinism has spawned. Wherever that is. Okay, the rebels are dying out now. That's good. So we can focus on building everything up that we have. While we wait for the next age. I mean, how many texts are left that we wanted? 3. And then we have to actually check what we really need before the next age hits us. Doesn't look too great here, to be honest. No, doesn't really look too great. What can we do here? Ooh, road network again. Universities. Reach out to our faith. No, that doesn't make sense. Swap the state. It doesn't all. So it's either road network or universities. It's only one university though. Let's do road network again. We know that it's very good. Address Toll Castle. Possible nobles. Aristocratic support. Actually, I'm going to do this one. Because we can weaken the nobles through this. We also get the aristocracy points. There we go. And now we check if we want to maybe change the law. But I think nothing got really available. That we don't already have. Yeah, religious teaching is really nice because it gives us +5 on peasant, laborers and soldiers, which... Oh, we could get personal religious. Oh, that's a difference. Oh, it reduces the elite ones to -5, by 5. And we would go away from spiritualism. But I don't think that's worth it. I don't think that's worth it. Air religion is fine. Court language. Oh yeah, we want to change that again. Strong guild. Itinerary court. No, I think that's all fine, like it is currently. So we don't really need anything. We can't go to war with Poland, probably. Because they're still allied to Hungary. Yes, that's a very bad idea. But we do need a new alliance partner. Because we just lost our last one, right? We only have Denmark left. We had one with France for a while. But for some reason they cancelled that as well. So let's improve again. Maybe that will help. So, do we want to... Can you make other landless bank and landless trade nations in a vessel as a bank nation? I'm not sure how the bank nations actually work. But I know from the Hansa that they can, as the bank nation, vassalize actual nations. Because we saw that there were vessels from the Hansa earlier in the campaign. So you could get territory, basically. Okay, we can now do some roads here. Let's continue here in the east. So basically want to build roads everywhere here. Like from here to here, here. Already done everywhere. Okay, good. And then from Kreslin, we also want to go in this direction here. And then we want from Königsberg into the interior. We already have that. Okay, good. So that's all resolved now. I think that's... Oh no, we don't have the money. We don't have the money for more roads. Is there anything else we can do for proximity currently? I mean, the coastal forts we already have. So there's nothing we can do about those. Yeah, in all markets actually. So the only other thing would be the dry dock for more sailors and harbor capacity. So I guess we want that as well, but it costs 100 each. So that's expensive, let's say the least. Let's say that... Why do we not get anything from the... We will grant Kreditwerk. What? Why can I not reject this? The Kreditwerk. That has to go immediately again. This is terrible. Where's the... there. Minus 10% tax efficiency and plus 25% for minting. That's never worth it in our case. Never. No. Minting is such a low income for us. I feel scammed. I feel really scammed. So we are going to revoke this immediately again. Bye bye happiness of the burgers, of course. But fine. And we can do a religious... Oh yeah, right, we can search for a building. So, religious aspect. Adult baptism, appointment of bishops, asceticism. So we get proximity cost here. That's nice. Bread and wine, food output, wine output, clerical poverty. The crowner's head of faith. That's nice as well. Freedom of preach. Individual creeds. Justified conflicts. Monasticism. Parish registry. Pietism. 5% literacy. And innovativeness and communalism. I think I'm going to take this one. Sola fide. Sola scripture. Ooh, another 5% literacy. That's also a must-have. Soli Deo Gloria. Translated libraries. 10% literacy. Usury allowed. And war sermons. I'm going to start with translated No, wait a second. We're going to start with pietism. Ooh, tax efficiency here as well. How many do we have? 3. Eh. I want more than 3. I want more than 3. So bishop. This one is nice, but clergy power plus 50% is nothing we want, actually. So I think we're going to start with the one that gives us influence. This one, pietism, because then we get the next thing quicker. So let's do it. And then in the time already this stuff can tick up. Added pietism. So then we are going to take the plus 10% next. That's going to be massive amount of literacy for us. We will not forget that. I don't think they're going to go to war with us here. I don't think anyone will, because we have a massive standing army. And maybe Bohemia could go to war, or Poland, but I don't think they want to. We should, however, upgrade our army now. I think the last... No, 2 upgrades are still available. We wait for those. Oh, wait a second. Why am I researching halberdiers? That's a bad idea. We got Landsknechte instead. And now... a rebellion! Bold! Oh, we can help them here. Fear of crypto-Catholics. That sounds like a crypto mining Catholic thing. Crypto Catholics. Ever present in our state is the fear that some individuals who profess to believe in all aspects of our church are secretly Catholicism sympathizers. One noble family in particular, though firmly entrenched in the machinery of the state, is said to have papist inclinations. As the years drag on, these rumors refuse to die and now seem almost impossible for us to ignore. I still have to make a screenshot from this. Fear of crypto-Catholics. We can get to traditionalists, we can put them on trial. Ignore these vile rumors. And we are changing plus 10 towards... No. No. We ignore these vile rumors. Evil. Worthless needs a reformation. We can get 10 influence for money. Yes. We have to take a loan though. So we take it. Which means we are 10 closer to the next one. So right, you said we can search for a building for proximity. Probably down here somewhere, right? Not in here. Building effects, local proximity, cost. Yeah, bridges and pump canals, we have that. Is there something else? Proximity cost? No. We don't have anything left, apparently, that we can build. Fine with me. Not unlikely. Now we are going to show our army here on this poor fort. Bam. We have +5 from artillery, of course. We are likely to fail an assault against 100 defenders? Really? If I can't win that kind of an assault, that's wild. Loyal subjects, what's that doing that? Annexation cost, recruitation, yeah, let's take it. Although we are not annexing right now. Why would we fail an assault here? That's super wild. Come on, there we go. Done. Let's get out of here. Again, hold Berlin. Royal marriages, yes. And of course we are going to transfer it back to our friend. Normally it should end automatically, so I'm not sure why it doesn't. Now they return it to us. Why? Limburg. Where's Limburg? Oh, what do we have here? Gian Agricola in the Reformation. Gian Agricola is one of the most notable representatives of the early Reformation. However, he came into conflict with other reformers over the question of the Mosaic law and what capacity it applies to the Christian people. His stance on the gospel as only sort of a devout Christian conduct clashes with the multiples of his peers, drawing him some ire in the Reformist movement, who teach the relevance of the Old Testament to the Mosaic law. Joan Agricola, being accused of antinomianism, has reached out to our court for sponsorship and a safe place for him to refine his own doctrine. Can we lose 50 opinion with Denmark? Can. Let's sponsor him. Whatever it does. I have no clue. I have no clue what it does. Probably, I hope we are not going to spawn reformed or something. Okay, halberds are done. Unusable recruits, minus 39, really? What did they just do? Really? Okay. That's not cool. So how are we doing? 63%, so we are slowing down with the conversions now. But good. Doesn't matter. So roads are finishing here. Our conversion, assimilation is going on nicely though. Which also plays a role here now. So the revolt is ticking down faster and faster. We even got a corner here. So let's actually continue building our RGOs. Everything that somehow makes a profit should be built for now. So like up to here, fine. And then what I also want to do now, there are some peasant buildings here. So for example, the forest villages here sometimes are relatively profitable. No, it's not. Farming village, also no. And the market villages. Yeah, this one is relatively profitable. So let's build it. Build a few of those that already exist here. No, not you. So like these ones here. Just build a bit of those. I think that's all we can make though, right? Fishing villages are terrible anyway. Farming we check, forest we check, market village we check, and then we can still do irrigations there. Yeah, we wanted to build more irrigations. I remember this, so definitely something we want to make more food. So that we are prepared for growing our cities here. And now let's push forward to the next age. Education. There we go. 24. They have another revolt here. Oh boy. Oh. Quality is out. So, innovativeness, can we... Yes, we can continue on innovativeness. This also increases literacy. So our literacy is actually skyrocketing now. Come on, map mode for this. You can see already that we are the most literate region of the world, more or less here, or at least of Europe. You don't know much of the other part of the world. Only the Papal States are somewhat competing with us. But we can see here that Berlin is now over 50 literacy on average. And even our rural provinces are now at 35 plus. And they are still going up because we have, of course, picked that recently. So 40% is the new cap. And we are going to add another plus 10% on it too. Okay. Really good. Again, a hunting accident. Okay, really? You're going to do this here? Fine. So wild how many hunting accidents we had. Okay. That looks better by now. And you, are you still patrolling? So the East Baltic here, that's what we want. We don't need the West Baltic, no. It's only the East Baltic you should be patrolling. Yeah, 50 presents though. And the lenses are done, and with that our technology is done. So, we do have 4 years left, roughly, before the next age. Which we are, of course, trying to reach here. So, we can research the dry dock here. We can also efficient mining. I think there's also a technology in the Age of Renaissance that we maybe now want to pick. Or something with the Saiga process. Not sure where it was. Hulks. Slave centers. No. Maybe I'm missing stuff up here though. Maybe I'm missing stuff. I thought there was the Saiga process somewhere. River roads. Rate efficiency, state enrichment. That maybe was a state enrichment. Not bad. Power projection also not bad. And we also can get. Oh, we already have this here. Renaissance buildings materials, no. These are all ships and stuff. We don't need that. Cavalrymen. Anti-piracy. Could upgrade our ships though. No, it doesn't look like it that there is anything we forgot here. So we don't need plantations here or something like that. So do we have anything over here which we still need to do? Power projection here. We could research it later. We don't need to do this now. Cabinet laws might be something we want. I think it wasn't that great though, if I remember it correctly. Burger. Maybe we get burger happiness, so why not? Naval supplies workshop. We don't need that right now. It's not an industry we have. Efficient mining we just queued up. And now matchlock levy we skip for now. Instruction center we don't need right now either. This can be done later. Yeah, so we basically have a lot of stuff done that we need. We could, now that we have time left, we could consider going down here somewhere. Maybe for the trading hub. I think that's a good idea. We have 2 market centers. And then there was something like, yes, here we have the mining technologies that we should get. Surgery is also something we want eventually. And now let's continue on speed 5 here. the burghers are probably still not amused by what we did to them. Yeah, they're still ticking up. And only at 42%? No, that's the pastors, sorry. They are still ticking up here as well. Pastors are surprisingly unhappy now. But, yeah. They will get some happiness from the religious influence, depending on what we pick here. Yep. No one wants to work. Minus 6.4 ducats. I can afford that. Barely. Barely. Maybe we want to expand a bit our urban cities here. Like with the printer shop, definitely. To upgrade all of those that we currently have. Make a lot more books. We should start to specialize cities there. When thinking about it, but like Berlin is probably at its cap of infrastructure. Yes, we are already a few over it. So we shouldn't build in Berlin anymore. We probably should start removing stuff that isn't very profitable. So we can check here. Okay, what is bad? Like the Glass Guild, for example. Oh, they are all pretty good, but we should invest into other cities now. Appeased estates. Yes. More happiness for them. Awesome. Okay, we just wait here. Let time pass. Collect some cash, build up some cities, and wait for the next age. If nothing would die. If nothing would die. Oh, innovative encouragement is over. So you can also go to assimilating here. Kelmnor is next. Let me get rid of the rebels here. And our population is by now 65% converted. Oh, they want alliance back. Nice. Thank you. Very good. Now we got the dry dock. So we can actually make it. And we're going to. In the cities we have. Also in our vessels here. Oh, we can claim throne again on Denmark. But we are allied to them, so no. You maybe get it on again. Because we are still one family, more or less. So maybe we get our personal union back eventually. Would be funny. They're almost there. I'm not even sure. So let's check out the next age. So the Age of Reformation, which is going to hit us, has the institution confessionalism, global trade, and artillery. So we can already start talking about what I don't like about technologies. So first of all, the institution spread itself is terrible. In my eyes at least. So, like if you play Korea, as I did as the first campaign, you are basically barred from any other institution until the Europeans have spread it to the east. If they don't colonize or do much, then you can wait forever. We saw that around 1450, or I think 1435, I'm not sure how long we played. The professional army institution, which is this one here of Age of Renaissance, reached India. That was the only one. So the others, banking and Renaissance, didn't even reach India at that point and were not even visible to us. And meritocracy, as we saw in this campaign, reached us within around 80 years or 90 years. Then we were able to embrace it. So that was super fast, of course. Let's 1 second here. Expand training field infrastructure, hunting grounds, urbanization. Let's do another town here for free. Address festival grounds. Yes. There we go. And then we wait for an event. So maybe we get lucky. So the institution spread is one thing which I don't like. And the other thing is that I don't like the institution itself. In a way that they are... how to name it? Like... Wait a second, what's that? What is this? Humanist? Yes. Influence of Malkin. We do already have... We should get a bit more support. So, for example, the professional army, I really don't like that as an institution. Because, for example, it's not like that China didn't... Yeah, good that we took the 5%. It's not like that China didn't have any kind of crossbowmen. Or that we have to research them at this stage in the game. Not really a fancy technology to have. So I don't like this at all. That it works like this. Wait a second, can we do something in that time here? Promotion speed. No, not really. So we could start from buildings, but we don't need to. But this is one of my major problems with the estates here. And then of course the banking and Renaissance is... I mean, the thinking is pretty much the same as in EU4, which I didn't like. You get the institution or you don't get anything. And I don't know. It doesn't feel right. And then, to continue on this topic, the tech tree, especially if we look into the Age of Renaissance, it looks massive, but it's in actuality it's super simple. Because you just have a few trees which are depending on the institution here. Like this, and a neutral one, which is the only one they actually made. Because else Korea wouldn't have anything to research. So this feels like super odd that the other ages don't have a neutral tree without institution blocking. Yeah, then you have something like, okay, you research professional armies, you get immediately some tactics, which is a massive benefit compared to all other nations if they don't have it immediately, which is super weird. And then you have to research guns, and then you have to research your units, for example, here. Or over here with the armory, you have to research the units, which is super weird from a perspective. So it's like, I don't know, replace the bailiff. Okay, replace him. It's always like a egg and hen problem. So if you look at some technologies, I'm not sure where's a good example. I think cannons are a good example. Cannons were only invented because you had this kind of forts, castles. And so you would need to have castles so to basically have cannons, and as soon as someone knows cannons, forts were more or less useless. No, the other way around. So forts became more obsolete afterwards. The castles of the Middle Age or so, at least. And you have the same stuff, for example, with books here. I'm not sure where the technologies are right now. Where you can buff book production. I think it was in here. Banking. Counting house, rec paper here. So you can buff up all these things regarding book production. But it doesn't matter if you have books or something. And you get literacy for free by embracing printing press without fulfilling any kind of conditions for it. So you just get it. You didn't need to print any book, but you get still additional literacy from somewhere. And I really don't like this. So let's speed forward here. 65%. Oh, marine books now are 4. Nice. We still had the loan? Okay. Elbing is also our corner. A new court? No. Okay, great. Why do you want to move the... Ah, it's because of we have the itinerate court thing. That's why. No, that's not correct. From China you have, for example, the gunpowder spread. Even though they didn't use it like Europeans would use it, like for cannons and stuff. Not that early, or not that advanced later. Of course they also used it in some way. I'm not sure how it exactly works. And how advanced they were. In that regard, wait a second, so we have Crown. Frederick, you are going to be on the army now. And we need a new member here for our Carl. You are going to do it. So. There are other spreads as well. For example, what is very notable, I'm not sure when that exactly happened, but for example, the spread of rice to the west, to Persia especially. I don't know when rice became the part of the diet of Persia. If that was in this time frame or it was earlier even. No! Denmark, come on. Another war, really? Norway, Iceland, Sweden. Okay, come on, we go and help them. There were, of course, a lot more exchanges than... This is very Eurocentric, especially the institutions. It feels like, let's find 3 European things, and we put them as institutions in these ages. Okay, Age of Reformation. We have to decide what we want to do here. We have expanded infrastructure networks, gives us road reduction costs, divine supremacy, conversion, devoutness, religious tradition. They not only used gunpowder for fireworks. They had primitive gunpowder weapons, that's where the Europeans learned it from. Tax efficiency, I like this. National banks, competitive markets, humanist tolerance, culture capacity, ecumenism. Okay. Tax efficiency, 10%. Cabinet, 20% cabinet. Maximum diplomats, fast negotiations. Trade, market attraction, diplomatic reputation, trade capacity, colonial migration, free colonies, grand navy, defensive mentality, multicultural ambition, supply trains, army attrition, supply limit, siege ability, hostile attrition, conscripted garrison, copper bottoms, improved stores. Yeah, I would like to go a military focus, but this one isn't attractive enough. The only good thing I see in here is the engineer corps for our army. If there was, for example, maintenance cost reduction, then I would probably have taken it. Instead, we go for the diplomatic focus because we can get tax efficiency here, cabinet strength, trade maintenance, market attraction, and even free trade capacity here. This is much better than anything this path here offers us. No. Yeah. We go diplomatic here. And now we can see the great institutions. So, we have 2% chance. We are not on the list, which is another thing. So, we are one of the most advanced nations currently, and we can still not invent cannons here. Which is weird. I mean, we can... Actually, wait a second. We should probably... Let's stay here in Lübeck for a second. With the army. We want to upgrade it. Let's go there for a second. There we go. And we can spend the money here. 2,600. For a quick update of our troops here. Just a minor upgrade. So now... Artillery will not spread to us naturally for whatever reason. Global trade, okay, that's okay for me that we don't start it because we don't really have an international trade route. We only dominate the Eastern European bits. On confessionalism, We are also not on the list, even though we were the first to convert to Lutheranism. So I really don't like the invention mechanics here, because they're basically hard-coded. Of course, you can do the non-historic ones. I think then it's a bit more flexible, but it's still weird. Religious disorder. Ouch. Minus 50 stability. We go for humanist here, and now we have to blow up our stability budget to fix that. And we have religious turmoil. Great. So we have to get our stability up quickly before we end in this disaster here. And our... Oof. Okay. Maybe we should stop the assimilating process here and go back to converting again. So... let's go by population. You need it urgently. Convert. And then we go for... wait a second, which one are you? Kellner. So Köslin here. Did we set him up correctly? Not that we did pick Catholicism. Lutheranism by population. Okay, maybe we picked the wrong one. The Protestant Patriots are still ticking up though. Yeah, I know it's called like this, but a bit more flexibility can't hurt. You should be cracking down on... oh, we have still ticking up Prussian Patriots despite this. Probably because of the stability loss that we just experienced. So we go... Kellner, yeah. Like this. Let's push the conversion further up. We have to reach 90%, which is far away still. We lose another 12%. What? That's not cool. Not at all. Oh! Our army is a bit expensive currently. Maybe. Just maybe. I didn't know that the units changed in size now, so... let's go back to Berlin. I didn't know that they change sides when we upgrade them. That they are now much stronger. That hurts. And Denmark wants what? Money. No. So keep talking about this one here, about the technologies. I think that, for example, what makes it also unattractive in my eyes is that you have this small trees. It doesn't feel like you progress through an age at all. It's just like, okay, I check this tree, I take what is best for this, and then I go back to something else. Lodi. There we go. Wherever that is, let's see. Lodi is down there. So probably we are going to get this very quickly as well. So, can we do something else here to stabilize our empire here? Because that's going to hurt us here. We have decided to speed the ratification entry into force of the Treaty of Perugia. Whatever that is. Current amount of debates failed. Okay, that didn't really go well for them, the Council of Trent. Apparently, at least. So, population-wise, we are going up again in regards to... I mean, we could consider to actually go enforce religious unity now. Yeah, I think we have to speed this up, else we're gonna have really big problems. We can revoke this later. Shouldn't be a problem. But this helps us a bit to convert faster. Musical innovations. Cultural tradition, cultural influence. Nice. We should also have enough for the next... Yeah, soon. 10 more. And then we can make the next aspect here. Nice. Also, legitimacy is almost up again. Artillery in Egypt, global trade in Georgia. What? Ha! Interesting. I hope they are winning here, because I don't want to sacrifice my army here. Cabinet laws are researched. We can go into... Yeah, what we want to do. Aristocracy, multi-army tradition, burger estate, equilibrium, legislative efficiency, but reduce in power. This is actually tempting. Dynastic administration, pushing down all estates by 10%. I mean, why not? Wouldn't hurt, right? It's either dynastic administration or meritocratic recruitment. 2.5% happiness here. Now let's push down the power. I think that's worth it. Okay, what's the spread now? How does it work? How well does it work? Nothing here yet. Ah, okay, the confessionalism is spreading quickly through Central Europe. That's good. We can refuse. And someone became emperor again. Ascania. Oh, that's a Saxon. Our predecessor, basically. So how much do we have here now? We do have 50 Landsknecht. So 50 Landsknechte, 50 horsemen, 50 armored horsemen. Oh no, that's people, sorry. We do have 50 units of Landsknechte, 15 light lancers, 15 lancers, 25 falconets, and 10 supply convoys. So we don't have anything with gunpowder yet, apparently. So we should maybe research that eventually. Maybe in this age. But we do have a massive army now. Population-wise, we are up to almost 68%. Can we receive it as well? I didn't see us on the list. Can it only spawn in Catholic places? Maybe. Would be wild, but it's not unlikely. So our income is still negative though. Because our army costs... Why does it cost 300? Reinforcing. Oh, we don't have manpower. Okay, that's why. So let's actually... We have to do this, more or less. To just reinforce a bit here. $3,000 manpower. Yeah, our income is 270 and we have maintenance of 488. I think we are not going to get out of this anytime soon. So maybe we made a bit too many units for this to work. What happens if we go minimum? What impact does it have on us here? We don't know. But we are positive now. And we don't have enough manpower though to reinforce that army size. Which is funny. But okay, we have to keep it like this for the moment to... room. Of course, we do humanist here. So I guess we are going to disband a few units here. So we have to abandon a few. We can consolidate. That's probably the easiest one to do. Yeah. So now that helped. Consolidation. I didn't know that the Landsknechte were such a bigger size. So now we just need a lot less manpower, which we can fix by building some more armories. And why can't we build it here? Requirements not met. Oh, not accepted culture. Okay. That's interesting. I mean, we don't really care because we are converting everything anyway. So, armories, that will help us. It will cost us, but it will help us. And fix the issues here. Okay. We go further to humanists here. Where are we currently? 48%. Almost there. I'm not sure. Unhappiness. Reduce trade investments is... Okay, we take it. Reduces our income a bit. Now what I wanted to talk about is in regards to tech here. So the thought I had is, so feel free to share your opinions. If it were to be consolidated into one tree. So for example, imagine it's just the... We have the Renaissance tree here. Wow, -10. And then from this tree, which is a lot longer afterwards, we have multiple branches, which for example include banking, or this one and this one. Or we use this tree and then we branch from this one. With certain things from, for example, professional army and banking and Renaissance. So, for example, if we read the right one here, so for example, we have here codified provincial duties, and it could easily be that the Renaissance then goes from here with its technologies, and that it proceeds from here. And for example, the banking goes after intensive agriculture and the burger literature. That banking technologies come afterwards, or the formal city rights and so on. That these ones, therefore, are a lot more one tree and not 4 trees as of now. And therefore it would be much, I don't know, not simpler, but at least more straightforward that you have to research into directions. And not like, oh, I take one of this tree and then I take one of this tree. Because what happens currently is you just open the advanced tree. And then you pick like, okay, I go down there, queue up 14 technologies and never open it again. Wow, 3,200 for 5 science. No. Not even on my heyday here. Okay, rebellions are still a thing. Low army maintenance, I know. Wait for these buildings to finish. We are going actually to accept a separate piece here because we don't want to fight this. We reduce fort maintenance. Good. So we can get up quicker in stability again. Food is running short. Some armies are still under construction, but manpower is going up. Slowly but surely. We have to get past that. Ay ay ay. So much stuff here. What's happening here? I don't know. Possible rivals. Ooh, do we want to rival Bohemia? Better not. Let's rival Saxony here. Because they are on the food list anyway. We can also, what we now do is also build some training fields here. So at least there where we can. So just make a few of those. Oh, that was a bit more than a few. How much do we get from those? We get 10 monthly manpower. So that should solve all our problems here. But maybe we run into other problems regarding upkeep from these buildings. Who knows? Farming estates. 10 prestige here as well. Religious art, no. Increase ties to subjects, no. Training field, we don't want to, right? Oh, wait a sec. That's 50%. Yes. But I'm not going to actually let this succeed. I know, if we fail, we lose stability again. Sponsor the university. Yes, definitely. Nice. So we should end alliance with Austria. No. We can do this one. Maybe get a +5 event. Oh, support for capital economy. That's always and always yes. Because the capital economy has some nice impact. Like if we look at our printer shop here, we do have already 52% production efficiency from bookbinding and other things, but also we have the capital economy with almost 13% bonus. Strong guild that we picked earlier this episode. We could get something from the happiness, but we see here that we make 28 profits from this. And if you go, for example, into the paper workshop, which of course has a synergy here, we see that we also have 37% here, and the merchant quarters, they have 25%. So all of that is really good. Can we not expand this? Okay, maximum of 7 in this location. And yeah, we shouldn't build more buildings in Berlin. But fine. 70% religious unity. Oh, we're losing a lot of prestige here. But manpower is basically solved. Nice. But that breaks our economy pretty hard. Really hard. Oh, it passed? Yeah, right, we wanted it to pass. Right. Good riddance to the... Now we continue going towards humanist here. Nice. That's exactly what we want. New thinkers arise. More science output. Good. Now we just have to wait for these institutions to actually reach us. So let's see how well we are doing. Oh, not great. Oh, global trade might even be faster than the confessionalism. And cannons are also far away still. impressive. Not really, but wow. Okay, our economy is rebounding from that massive impact we had. So that's good. That's really good. Nice. Can we get money from... No, we can't. Oh, they don't have enough money. That's why. We could, but they don't have enough money. Do we still have loans? Did I forget? No. So now the infrastructure here with the main power is probably getting filled because we don't have enough soldiers. Yes. So that's going to go over, slowly go up, one after the other. And now we can actually consider that we crack down on some of these rebellions here again. Which means rebel crackdown here again. So the Catholic Zealots are the most dangerous one. And who has a high dip value? This guy. Who's that? Can't pronounce it. We are going to use him to assimilate further. So not convert, but assimilate in this case. We are already relatively nice here. But the Altmark had a rebel fraction. Yes, Eastphalian Patriots. So let's fix that as well. Make them disappear. Probably just need to reach 90% or something, but... Yeah, this province is surprisingly non-Brandenburgish. No. This is better. Is the Papal States expanding in a colonial empire or something, or why do we get this event? So probably from our investments into military, we probably changed many goods in our empire here in regards to pricing. So that's why we should investigate here. Yeah, the gunsmith can have up to +2 profitability now. And so let's do this here in Potsdam and Wittenberg and Meissen. And what else do we have? We have the tannery. Could do in Brandenburg as well, and in Stettin and in Malkin. Then we do have stuff like the cannon maker, which we probably should build up in new cities because Herzfeld and Potsdam are quite busy already. So Königsberg maybe as well, like this. So get some of these military goods in our empire flowing again, which are probably overburdened now. We get the iron output tools. We should also Spinner's Guild. All these cities are already constructing something, so buff up those ones. Our course is just... Yeah, I know. Okay, how quickly are we promoting here now? 31% already. Lack of control, minus 57%. Why are you so bad? I know, it's only 42%. It's not that terrible. Interesting. Now there's another thing we are going to do now, which is we are going to upgrade Berlin to a city. So 1,500 to upgrade it from a town to a city. That's going to be very important because we get another 100 possible buildings here. So that allows us to keep upgrading Berlin itself. Ay, ay, ay. We have to convert them. Yes. What's that? Anti-Bavarian coalition. They have started that. No. I'm not going to join you. Sorry. I don't want to fight currently. Actually, I'm going to end the episode soon. So actually, I'm going to... Because I don't have that much time today. So what we can see here now is the new spread. And what I really don't like about the tax system here is, for example, the canon institution. So what does it do? I mean, the cannons are already around since the Age of Renaissance, because there you could unlock the Culverin. No, not Culverin, but... how it's called? The... whatever that's pronounced. So, cannons are not new. So, how suddenly they get here, you get siege artillery, even though they were used for the last 100 years already as siege artillery. At least in some places. And... most of the focus of this tree here is unlocking units again and upgrading military production buildings. So like cannon workshop, and then here you have multiple units and also new ships with cannons. It's just a bit... I really don't like this system. And then you have Sebastian here, so why would you own... like... why would be the Bastion technology here? It doesn't make any sense. And of course you get upgrades through your manpower buildings. Although I don't see why you would need that, because as we saw in my case, we are still far behind on infrastructure on that front. And it's just weird. And then for some reason we have the cabinet efficiency here behind that ship upgrade. Why would that be a case? And then you have Grand Navy maintenance over here in the farthest corner behind the cannons. I don't know. It's so... I don't know. I don't get this. Like, you also have fast negotiations here behind the flintlock levy. I would never research the flintlock levy. If that... So why would it be here? Why would it not be in something like global trade, which is here? Why wouldn't trade negotiations be in here? Probably the reason is that this technology tree is already too powerful, so that they had to move stuff into other trees to balance it out, because this one also has free trade with capacity here. So, yeah, it's... you know, like, why put free capacity and free maintenance into one tree? That would maybe make it strong. So just move it randomly in some other tree. Because to balance them out so that you pick all of them, more or less. And I'm really not a fan of those. You would, if you have a one big tree, you are forced to go into a certain direction and you have to neglect certain direction. But you should never fall behind super far just because I don't know, you had to research 3 years to only get all the units unlocked to keep up with the others. It feels super weird. And you have so many buffs in here, which is also... I mean, some of them are super strong and some of them are super pointless. So, like, we are not going to go tolerance of heretical beliefs, because we are going to convert everything. And if we conquer something, we are going to vassalize it first or something like this. Even though it's a Brandenburg one. Maybe we do it later when it's cheaper, but I don't know. Some of them are super weird. Migration speed here is also not that strong, 10. Compared to 10% crown power and the government reform. Or like the 10% trade capacity here. So also the maximum diplomats, for example, are super pointless and weak technologies, because diplomat capacity is most of the time not the problem you are facing. And if you don't have fleet, why would you go down this tree here? But you have to go down this tree to get, for example, the dice workshop, which is really essential to make a lot of things like books, paper, and better luxury clothes and something. So it's weird. In many things, it's weird. And yeah, and you have this all over the place in this game, and the tech trees. And I definitely want to address it. I want to investigate it and go into it. So for example, what I would imagine, what I would do. So you can see here that we have a certain mining-oriented technologies. And then then it would be, think about, okay, how are they connected? So for example, maybe the saltpeter workshop should be connected to some kind of artillery stuff. So that you can make better saltpeter, therefore you can make better gunpowder and so on. So you connect military to economic stuff, to cannons, for example. And the same is, for example, if you take the dye workshop, you maybe want to connect that to other developments. I'm not sure what's in the in the left part here. Then maybe something related to this. Maybe to trade manipulations or something, or free trade, that you get new recipes of dye making from trading with other nations. I'm not sure what is the recipe here. The dye workshop is alum and lumber. So it's basically still the same method, just better, right? Yeah, it's just the same method, but better. So this is... I would, for example, also introduce new production methods here. Because it's called global trade. So you get it somewhere. You get something better from somewhere. You get new plants, for example. Why not use it? You could have a Columbian exchange which introduces new crops to your territory, which is then used in dye workshops. So I think there was one dye which was used here in this region. Is there a dye? Yeah, here it is. So this was a historical source of dye, but there are of course also others which came from India and the East Asias and so on. So why not do it this way? Yeah, and I think I'm going to look at this and we are going to see what I can make out of it. Or I'm not going to do it alone. So, oh, the beer workshop. That's a very important one as a German. Even though I don't drink beer, but I'm German, but yeah, that's like heresy. What do you get? For example, why does beer have 6 production recipes, but dyes does not have? It's only 1. Why is that the case? Wheat, 30 grains, fruit, mice, pottery, wheat, beeswax, and 30 grains. Yeah, it ignores one very key recipe of beer, which is malt. You would need to grow malt to make beer, which is completely not represented here, which is funny. So you have 6 recipes, but it's not really historical. I mean, yes, you can make beer, I think, out of wheat or something. It's possible, so this one is not unlikely. I think the others are also relatively likely. For example, you could make cider or something out of apples, so it's somewhat, but I think a lot of stuff was based on malt, especially in this age. Tools workshop, what does it get? Nothing. It actually loses production recipes. So you have 3, which is the copper, tin, stone, and iron method, and you go probably to only the iron method. Yeah. Which is a curse for everything in in America. Because you don't have that many iron sources especially in the Aztec area. And I'm not sure if you can find new ones with the global trade, Columbian exchange stuff. So how are you supposed to make other things like cannons if you don't have iron deposits properly? Or at least not big ones. What else do we get? Saltpeter. Salpeter, isn't that an RGO resource as well? Isn't salpeter also a RGO? So let's search for it. Saltpeter. No, it's not, apparently. Now, right, it's fabricated from carbon on something else. I remember, yeah. Chemistry is a while ago. What else do we get here now for the next episode? Where do we want to go, actually? I think I want the siege artillery to get the bonuses. I think I want to get the better workshops here. I'm not sure which ones, though. We have to check our market. But I definitely want the trade bonuses. And we are going to get all 3 institutions extremely quickly, which is also weird. We probably need the dye workshop, so we have to go this path, which I really don't want to. We definitely want the rights of the clergy to make it even weaker. And here we probably want the tax efficiency, another tax efficiency. We get 15% tax efficiency here. Wow. Wow, 15. We are going to go this direction first. Because we can get very quickly 5% here, 10% here, trade capacity here, market attraction, we don't need to rush, no. And then I think we can go here, government reform. So we're actually going to do government reform first. We don't need the crown power. What is Supreme Court doing? It's a building. We're going to Supreme Court, probably not immediately, but relatively quickly. And then we do the stuff here. Cabinet seats, definitely. Definitely. All the other stuff is pointless. We don't need war score costs. Pharmacology might be something we want to get eventually. Yeah, and then we probably switch to military. And global trade will be delayed a bit. Officer school. Ooh, Geheimer Rat is here. This is a very powerful technology for Brandenburg, Prussia. We should also get 5% satisfaction on nobility and burger, which is a lot. Oh god, yeah, all these building upgrades are down here, so you're forced to go 3. Like, you can get imperial ambition, but we can't become even a kingdom. So why would you need to research this? And here you have to go through GEM's output. We don't have a single GEM RGO to get 10% RGO size. Oh, and there's some random military tactics down here. In global trade. Why? Okay, this is a must-have. We have to get the military tactics very quickly to not risk battles. We currently have 2.63. So another 25, 0.25 is actually 10% difference, which has a huge impact on everything. Reduces damage taken, yeah. Only from regulars? Wait a second, did I read that right? No, regimen in combat. And we also have the quality. Is it? We are only at 30% quality by now? Oh yeah, we have to push this. We have to improve on this one. We want quality higher. We are almost done with aristocracy, so that's good. Capital economy is also progressing nicely. Land is still improvable. Oh, we get now from naval maintenance and navy size and negative ticking. Wow, why? The army size is too small. For our countryside, we already have 26,000 troops. Why is that the case? I mean, our army is only costing us like only 25 times the navy cost. Well, Yeah, I'm going to cut it here for today. So we are going to continue tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow evening. There I have a bit more time. And then we are going to push into the New Ages and have a look at everything and how we research. So we are currently at 42 average literacy already. And that's going to go only up further now because of the aspects that we are going to pick next here. So we are going to get another 10% literacy here, and then probably crown power as the third one. Roughly like this, and yeah, that's going to be very, very useful. So that puts us at what? At literacy. I wish we could... No, I don't want to replace it. Yeah, I can't even... I can't check out the religious aspects, which is super annoying. Is there a way? No. So our capacity in rural provinces. We get another 10%. Then it will be at 51% for rural. And then we have, I think, a government reform afterwards. Which gives us another 5% roughly. So we're going to get close to 60% literacy in the next 60, 50 years or something. Which is massive. But yeah. Let's look at that next episode. If you like it, subscribe and see you next time.